Hi, everyone. I wanted to take the next 2 minutes and talk about a couple questions that I've gotten a lot recently. That is, what is Bitcoin and should I invest in Bitcoin? First question is, what is Bitcoin? And I think in the simplest way to think of Bitcoin is a decentralized currency. What I mean by decentralized is it's not controlled by any one entity. It's borderless. Bitcoin is not Canadian, it's not US, it's not European, it's not Asian, it's just Bitcoin. So the Canadian dollar, for example, is controlled by the Central Bank of Canada. The US dollar is controlled and manipulated by the Federal Reserve. Bitcoin has nobody controlling it, and I think that is attractive to some people. Also, Bitcoin is anonymous. When a transaction using Bitcoin is processed, it does have a layer of anonymity, which is attractive to some people. So an example of how Bitcoin might become something important moving forward would be if you were a Canadian person who bought property in the US, for example. Before you take possession of that property in the US, you'd need to buy with US dollars. You'd need to take Canadian dollars, convert to USD, and then buy the property. When you convert from Canadian to US dollars, there is a transaction fee. The bank will charge you a fee on that, and that is adds to the overall cost of buying the property. Now, what if an example where instead of using US dollars to buy the property, I just sent 5 Bitcoins down to the seller of the property? You wouldn't have to exchange from one currency to the other. Instead, you just send the Bitcoins to them, and you're done. The transaction is over. So I think that's an easy way to look at Bitcoin and how it might potentially work and be an important part of finance moving forward. But that's not really why people are talking about it right now. Bitcoin's been around for a while. The reason people are talking about it, it's getting so much attention, is because it's gone from $10,000 a coin to $50,000 a coin in a very, very short period of time. The reason that has happened is actually quite simple. The reason of the skyrocketing value of Bitcoin is because there are right now more buyers than sellers in the marketplace. There are more people who believe that Bitcoin will be more and more important going forward, so they're willing to buy it now. Now, if that trend continues, Bitcoin will continue to go up in value. If it does not, the value of Bitcoin will go down. It will go down very fast, and it'll be quite furious and volatile. The second question is, should I invest in Bitcoin? And before we even start on that, I would ask the question, is Bitcoin even an investment, or is it a currency? Right now, the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States does not acknowledge Bitcoin as a security. It actually, or as an investment. As far as I can see, it is a currency that has little use in most people's day-to-day life. But that being said, gold can also be considered a currency, and that's been part of people's portfolios for hundreds of years. So perhaps there is something there. The real question to ask yourself before you even explore looking at Bitcoin would be, am I an investor or am I a speculator? And it really boils down to that. Investors have long time horizons, they have muted rate of return expectations, and they're not willing to risk the capital that they put to work. Speculators have very short time horizons. Their expectations for growth and returns are very high, and they are prepared to lose that money if something goes sideways, and that's a very, very important part. So before we take a look at Bitcoin as an option, you need to answer that question. Are you an investor or are you a speculator? Now, if you answer honestly and you are a speculator, then that is something you can definitely take a look at because it is definitely on that speculation side of the ledger. But if not, I would stay in the lane you're in because investors get themselves in trouble time and time again when they dip their toe onto the speculation side, and it usually doesn't end up working out very well for them. Now, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm out to lunch, let me know. Send me an email, shoot me a text, find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you. Let's get this conversation going. Stay safe out there, everyone. We'll be in touch.